We are so lucky and so fortunate to be in a place where our alums can come back and share their talent with us, and our very, very wonderful faculty who also share their talent with us as well. So thank you both. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Alumni Convocation speaker, Dwan LaMar Prude, IMSA class of 1997, another legend from the past. While at IMSA, Dwan was very active in student life and athletics. His biography highlights many of his achievements, including breaking school records in track. So you might find something about him around here as well as you start looking for the legends of IMSA. He was chosen by his fellow classmates as one of the student speakers at the graduation ceremony for the class of 1997. Dwan attended and graduated from the Missouri University of Science and Technology with both a bachelor's and a master's of science degrees in engineering management. Currently, he is employed by the Boeing Company in St. Louis as procurement financial analyst for the F-18 platoon. Dwan is also active in the East St. Louis community, serving as the senior pastor of the Bride of Christ Church of God in Christ. Dwan is very passionate about fulfilling the IMSA mission and is working with Barb Miller, IMSA Director of Enrollment Management, to improve and increase student enrollment from the Southern Illinois area. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join with me in a warm welcome for Dwan LaMar Prude.
I saw them tearing a building down. A gang of men in a busy town with a ho-he-ho and a lusty yell, they swung a beam and the wall fell. So I asked the foreman, are these men skilled? The men you would hire if you had to build? And he laughed and replied, no, indeed, just common labor is all I need. I can easily wreck in a day or two what builders have taken years to do. So I thought to myself as I walked away, which of these roles have I tried to play? Am I the wrecker who works the town content with the labor of tearing down, or am I the builder who works with care, handling life by rule and square? Good morning. Good morning. It is an honor, a privilege. Can I just tell the truth? Since we're all friends here, and please don't ever repeat this, there's no place like home. To Dr. McGee, who is one of the most well-dressed men I've ever met. To Dr. Sharp, who it must have been God's will for her to bring the Legos, because my opening poem was The Builder. So she's where she's supposed to be. In the spiritual world, we call that the will of God. To our fine musician, let's give him another hand. Was it just me, or did he make it sound like a saxophone? It sounded so good. And to our president, Mr. Kevin Zhang, let's give him a hand as well. So I'm going to make a deal with you guys because I want to come back. I'm not going to be before you long. Is that a deal? Because I want to be asked back in the future, I'm not going to be before you guys long. So last night, my mom and I, and to my mom, stand up, Miss Lily Prude, this is my mother. So last night, my mom and I left Florissant, Missouri at about 11 o'clock at night, driving in to IMSA. And we got here in the wee hours of the morning, about 3 o'clock. I really couldn't sleep because if I had gone to sleep, I probably would have not woken up. So IMSA prepared me for times like this. IMSA prepared me for times like this. So when I was here at IMSA, I was the captain of the basketball team, captain of the track team, senior at-large representative, and I was also a senior staff resident assistant. And as it was mentioned, we broke the 4x1 and the 4x2 track and field records in 1997. And if you go around the corner and look at the track and field records, you'll see that those records still stand today. So give me a hand. So since we just celebrated an Olympic year, I'd like to talk to you from the subject of just do it. Look at your neighbor and say, friend, just do it. High five somebody and say, just do it. High five someone else and say, just do it. So I have three simple questions that I want to ask you guys, and I'll start with the class of 15, the babies. My question to you, class of 2015, and it is a serious question that rests at the altar of your heart: are you a quitter? Are you a quitter? There is a little boy that's on vacation with his family, and he decides that he wants to make a big impact on the world. So he's out by the seaside throwing starfish into the water. And so he's picking them up, throwing them in. The tide brings the starfish in, he picks them up, throws them back in. There's a pessimistic, negative relative that comes on the scene. And she comes to him and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm making a difference. I'm changing the world." And he picks up a starfish, throws it back in. His negative sibling says, "There are hundreds of starfish that are coming in with the tide, and you're picking one and two up at a time, trying to make a difference. You're not going to make a difference." At that very moment, the tide brought in about 100 starfish. The little boy picked it up with all his might, threw it into the water, and said, "I just made a difference to that one." That little boy didn't quit. Class of 2015, I want you to remember that when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when funds are low and debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learn. Many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. So don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. The goal may be nearer than it seems to the faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup, and he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. I've learned one thing in life. Success is failure turned inside out. The silver tints of clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It is when things go wrong that you must not quit. Clap for yourselves, 2015. It's 2014. The hardest year at IMSA. If you don't know what stress is, you're about to find out. If you don't know what pressure is, you're going to learn it. 2014, my question to you is, how do you view the world? How do you view the world? Typically, what I've learned as an IMSA graduate is when I see the glass that's filled with water right at the midpoint, a person that may have gone to private school will say, the glass is half full. A person that may have had a great accelerated education may say, the glass is half empty. As an IMSA graduate, we scratch our head and we say, there is no glass. There are 5 Great Lakes. There's an Atlantic Ocean. All we know at IMSA is abundance. The glass does not exist. There's a Bible story where David meets the giant Goliath, and everybody is afraid. Goliath is 9 feet tall. His sword weighs more than 2 men put together. When he walks, the earth trembles. And this little 17-year-old boy looks at Goliath while everybody is saying, he's so big, he's so big. David said, he's so big, I can't miss. 2014, this is how you must see the world. You can't miss. You can't afford to slack. You can't afford to stay up a little bit later. You can't afford to just not try. Turn in your homework. This is not sophomore year anymore. Every grade counts. Don't skip class. This is not sophomore year. Every class counts. There's a man by the name of William Ernest Henley. On his deathbed, he wrote these words through the poem Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud under the bludgeonings of chance. My head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. 2014, clap for yourself. The future, 2013. Give yourselves a hand. My simple question to you all is, have you found your passion? It wasn't until my senior year at IMSA that I tapped into my passion. My first love was math, and this is how I knew my first love was math. When I was in the 5th grade, my math teacher in East St. Louis pulled me to the side. She said, "Dwan, for this school year, I want you to participate in the math counts contest." Do they still have math counts? Yes or no? Goes to show how I've been keeping up. And so she said, instead of you doing regular work with the other students, I want you to take your math book and work at your own pace and do the homework assignments. But during the classroom, you're going to sit at a table and study for the math counts test. I finished the entire 5th grade math book in 1 week. I missed 0. Clap. But it wasn't until my senior year at IMSA when I got a little bitty peek into my true passion. My senior year, someone recommended that I run for senior at-large representative. I was already the captain of the track and basketball team. I was already a senior resident assistant. I really didn't need anything extra. But I remember I decided to go ahead and try. And I did a speech. And when I did that speech, my entire body was burning. It felt like someone was just putting boiled water from the inside of my skin and allowing it to permeate outside of my body. And I ran out of time when I gave my speech. They went in the back room. They said, "Well, we have a tie between Dwan Prude and Grace Kim." I hope no one in here is related to Grace Kim. So they said, we have to do a recount. And Grace Kim was already one of the senior at-large representatives. So they did a recount, and I won senior at-large representative. But I remember when I left the academic pit, people were walking up to me, "Oh my God, we had no idea you had that in you." And through the years, I've memorized poetry and have gone out all over the world to speak. And you want to know, I'm going to give you 2 things that is an indicator of you may be participating in your passion. Indicator number 1, you forget to eat. You forget to eat. If you found something that you're willing to put food off for, the red stuff in the cafeteria, you just might be kissing your passion. The second indicator, you forget that you have to use the restroom. Those are two dangerous combinations. Only at IMSA can you get away with that. This is why we are a laboratory. So class of 2013, you'll pick up on that laboratory term as you graduate. It's very real. My question to you is, have you found your passion? And I leave with you my favorite poem. In the words of Rudyard Kipling, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your masters. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you could meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. If you could bear to her the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch those things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you could force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing left in you except the will that says to them, hold on. If you could walk with crowds and keep your virtue, or talk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth the distance run, 2013, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Just do it. Thank you.